Hey, I'm Brian Rogers. I'm a videographer and I work mostly in the automotive performance and motorsports industries. Today, I want to show you the best POV camera I've found that allows me to shoot great footage without a lot of hassle or expense. It's called the HD170 stealth camera by a company called Drift Innovation. And there's so many great things about this camera that I could go on and on about it, but I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. These are the features that make this camera what I consider to be the best camera available today. Before I get started, let me tell you first that I've owned and used many of the other offerings, and honestly, I've become so fed up with missed shots, difficult to navigate menus or no menu at all, and terrible audio quality. And the biggest irritation of all was the crappy mounting systems with plastic knuckles or rail systems that always seem to break and keep my mounting options really limited. One of the HD170's most attractive features is the 1/4-20 mounting system, meaning this camera has a 1/4-20 thread on the housing, so I can bolt it to anything with a hole in it, or even to a tripod. 1/4-20 is the most common thread you're ever going to find on the bottom of a camera. It's the same thread that's been on all good cameras and tripods since probably the beginning of time. For me, this feature opens up all sorts of limitless possibilities for custom mounts. The Drift Innovation also offers the industry standard Panavise suction mount, which I highly recommend. It's perfect for quick stick and shoot setups, which makes it really easy for me to change it from the car that I'm shooting on to another car. I can take it and stick it on the hood, the windshield, the fender, the door, inside the window. Anywhere I want to take this camera, it'll go. All I got to do is stick it on. This is the quickest and easiest way to get set up and start shooting right away. The next really important feature that I love actually goes hand in hand with a 1/4-20 mount, and that is the rotatable lens. So if you can't get your camera to lay flat or set up just the way you want it, you can actually rotate the lens to get your shot squared. Now, if you've ever used a POV camera before, you're probably wondering, yeah, right, how does this guy even know if his shot is square, right? Well, that's where the onboard LCD screen comes in. You can actually set up and frame your shots, and then you can see where you're actually shooting, and you can rotate the lens to get it all squared away. Just like that. The other great thing about the LCD screen is that you can actually review your footage out in the field. So you no longer need to take a computer with you to download your footage and then review it. In action and in motorsports videography, nothing is as dramatic as the slow-mo shot. It's great for many uses, and sometimes things happen so fast that a slow-mo shot is absolutely imperative to make sure that the viewer sees what you want them to see, what actually happened. Things just go by so fast, you need to slow it down, take it apart, and let their brain function and actually figure out what they've just seen. This is another area where the Drift Innovation really hit the mark. The HD170 can shoot at 60 frames per second, which means that you can really slow down your footage and still get a great smooth result. I've been creating videos for a few years, and I've got about 150 of them that I've put on YouTube on various channels, and I've watched thousands of other people's videos, and I often find myself reading the comments for some reason. And one of the most frequent complaints I've read is people watching automotive videos where the creators have put music over the sound of the engine. This seems to drive people nuts for some reason, and the fact is that most videos with POV camera footage have really bad audio because there's wind noise as the air passes over the body of the camera, and then there's really no option to correct that situation, and the videographer is simply stuck with it. From my experience, mount noise is also a big problem with rattles. I hate that. I like good audio quality, and I like to hear what's going on, and I don't like to cover it up with music. I mean, music has a good place in artistic videos and between scenes and shots. It's a good bumper, good filler, but to cover up the sound of a roaring V8 engine, it's just unacceptable in my opinion. The HD170 has no problem fixing this for me though, because there's a remote microphone option and I can simply plug it into the back of the camera and place it inside the car away from wind or other unwanted noise. And another cool thing about the remote mic is that you can do what I'm doing now, which is narrate as you shoot. So you can put your helmet on, put the camera in front of you and your microphone up inside your helmet or on your lapel or whatever, and then you can emulate your favorite Top Gear episode. Yes, this car is phenomenal! Whatever it is you want to do, you can do it with this camera without any major issues, and that's the point. Another feature that's really surprising about the HD170 is how well the night mode works. Let me give a demonstration on this here. I'm going to spin the camera around in the parking garage in normal mode, and then I'll switch it over to night mode, and you can see how much more light it lets in. On top of this, there's also exposure adjustments that you can manually change in the menu screen. The last thing I want to mention is that it has always been difficult for me to get the cameras started before the cars hit the track. I've tried to teach the drivers and the mechanics how to do it with the various cameras, but some of them are just too complicated in their simplicity. They're overly simplified. This again is no problem with the HD170. It comes with a wireless remote control that has a start and a stop button that work once the camera is turned on. That's it. No other buttons, just start, red light, booyah, you are recording, and stop. Green light means it's on, but you're not recording. Well, there you have it. Just a few of the features that the HD170 stealth camera by Drift Innovation have to offer. I'm really happy with the camera, and I really look forward to using it some more. So if you're interested in this camera or any other POV camera information, check out mypov360.com.